Welcome, everybody, to the world's best podcast and the universes and the multiverse. Most likely, we're back with our special guest all the way from Arkansas via Memphis, via Nashville, or the opposite way, I think probably would make more
Nah,
sense. But
yeah,
yeah, we're with Trae Holehouse. He's expecting a second baby. He's going on his baby moon tomorrow, so that's exciting. Do we know the gender yet?
we don't. We're gonna wait till they arrive to find out.
Oh,
Old
I love
school.
that. Is that what you did
I
before
know.
too?
No, we found
Okay.
out the first time we wanted to get everything bought and ready. The
Yeah.
first baby's scary. This time we're
Yeah.
just gonna, second baby. It'll be all right.
Yeah. I like that. I read or I
Get the
was
boy,
reading that.
wear girl clothes.
You're right. Well, and
Yeah,
you've got the girl, so you can just kind of hedge, right? Like
yeah,
reuse some clothes. If not, have buy some a
yeah,
couple new boys' clothes.
yeah.
That's great. On Trey and my visit to India, we're going through a couple places you should visit, as well as why India is the worst place we have ever gone to, like on earth. Don't go to
Definitely
India.
not.
I'm
Don't.
telling you not to go to India, but also to go to India. And before I think I'm prejudiced or any of the cysts, all my Indian friends agree. Like they're from India and they say no, that don't ever go to India. And you can say there's like nice places in India, like Goa or in the mountains. But there's nice. You can go to mountains in Switzerland. You can go to beaches like Goa and other parts of Asia without the cacophony of India. It was my most miserable trip. I think. I mean, it was still like interesting. Was it?
It's
It
very
was
interesting, eye opening.
yes. Trey and I talked this about people. It was the worst, best trip ever because it was like we're lucky enough where we've traveled a ton and we've gone to the beach 50 times, however many times, like on a vacation, where it's like we've never been immersed in what we saw in India. And it was just so, you leave so grateful. You leave just, I don't know. It was a whole
It's
new
very eye
way to see the
opening.
world.
Very eye opening.
Yeah, a whole new way to see the world. Like the poverty, again, I don't know if this is actual facts, was like one of the most impoverished. I think it's got the most population, right? Or maybe China just
Yeah.
passed it. But
Yeah,
re-
yeah. I think I don't
yeah,
know, but there's a lot of
regardless,
people
it's number
there.
two. Yeah, it's the
Billions.
most populous place on earth. It's hot. Like the weather where when we were there was just it was like Phoenix summer weather with like Tampa humidity. It was. I remember one day we were
Turned
there. It was
up
like
10.
yeah, the hottest place on earth was like where we were at that moment,
Yes,
and it's
I grew up in northeast Arkansas on the humidity by the Mississippi River. It's hot, humid there all the time. This
yeah.
place took it to a whole new level. I've never wanted to leave a country more than that day we went on a walk in Varanasi.
Oh yeah,
And
and
I mean, we could not have been more just drenched in sweat in our lives.
uh, and it smells because they just have
Yeah.
animals as roaming. So it's like the worst smells on earth. Again, I'm sorry, India people. We're saying go there, but like we need to describe like it smelled so bad because there's cow poop and goat poop because cows and goats are both sacred, right? Or cows definitely
Mm-hmm.
are. I think maybe goats.
Definitely cow. I wonder if my cow friend's still alive there from that last day we went to that
Yeah,
ceremony. And that cow just came and became best friends with me. You got a great
yeah,
picture of it
we
hanging out.
do. He's giving you kisses. It was sweet.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe like it blessed you. Like
Yeah.
it was some sort
Didn't
of
enjoy in
godly cow.
Varanasi though, getting dropped off like 2 miles from the hotel because there's no roads to get to the in the
Yeah,
city, and you had to drag your luggage that whole way and
and it's hot
avoid
and
cow
scary.
turds,
Yeah, because there's just
snake
cows,
handlers.
and like the poverty. There's just like people on top of people just sleeping on the side of the road and on the
Yeah,
road,
that
and
was
they
bad
like
in New Delhi.
yeah, and they don't smile. Like people in India
Yeah,
don't
why
smile.
would
They
you?
just stare like this.
Would you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I guess they're
it's
not like the happiest. It wasn't the most welcoming. That's what made it probably the worst trip ever. It was just the people. Maybe they were welcoming internally, but externally, you do not feel welcome whatsoever. Like I feel like we were stared at. They have the head bobble when they talk to you that kind of like freaks you out as they like stare deep into your eyes and don't smile. The head bobble, the lack of smiling was probably like the weirdest because it just didn't
yeah.
make me feel welcome. Um, but yeah, so yeah, they have cows. I think just describing more people. So they have cows and goats just like walking around like free in the
Yeah, and
streets.
Varanasi, very small alleyways with a cow there. One of them was so revved up and hit us that time, and I had to jump out of the way.
Yeah.
It's like they say cows do what they want.
Yeah, the one cool spot because we went to New Delhi, Agra, which is where the Taj Mahal is, Varanasi, which Trae is alluding to, and then Chennai. And Varanasi is described. Mark Twain described it. It's like one of the oldest cities on earth
Yeah, I
ever
think so.
created. Someone said like it was like the original city. It's steeped in history, but Mark Twain said it's older than history, older than tradition, older even than legend, and looks twice as old as all of them put together. Which I
Yep, I
mean,
believe it.
yeah, and smellier, scarier. It was cool because, like Trey said, there was just like little tiny alleyways, or like there are streets where you walk are just very small, so you're just like surrounded by these old buildings, and then monkeys were like flying back and forth. There was
Yeah,
snake handlers. We
I
saw a
got
real life
pictures with
snake.
them. They seemed
Yeah,
pretty nervous. The cops were going to roll up. It's illegal after a tourist got bit one time, but I didn't get bit, so we're all good.
no, yeah, and
We
then
had a great hotel. I mean, an old hotel, but overlooking the river. You could
yeah,
see all the people going over to the
and the
sand
river.
dune, I guess, like beach.
What's the river called again?
Ganji?
Close. No, it's like the most famous, dirtiest, polluted river on earth.
Ganji,
Um,
isn't it?
I feel like you're right, but maybe your accent's just making it sound
Oh, way
the
worse for sure.
Ganges.
Yeah, that's
The
what I said.
Ganges. You said
Nailed it.
Ganji. Yeah, yeah, the same thing.
Ganji. We
Yeah,
took
yeah, yeah.
pictures with our feet where it looked like they're in the water. We didn't really put them in the water
No, because it's
because,
supposed to
like
be.
you said, there's burning bodies in it and stuff. Like we're good.
Yeah, so they also there. Anyone who doesn't know, they have their funerals. Is that like
Yeah,
on the
I said
Ganges
yeah,
River? So they just
yeah,
put the dead bodies, and they have a hospice in Varanasi where they, as your grandparent or whoever's close to death, they just live there, and then when they die, they put you on a raft, just like Game of Thrones, except they don't use a boomerang or sorry, a bow and arrow to shoot the flame. They just light the flame and set you afloat on the Ganges River,
yeah,
and you just float and burn, and your body goes into the Ganges River. And then there's a hustle there where you get ripped off.
yes,
We got hustled, and what's the word I'm looking for? Where you get your money, like another term for hustle, but we got ripped off.
yeah. We did. I
Yeah,
luckily had my money in two separate pockets, like big money in one and little money in the other. And I gave them my little
genius.
money pocket.
Yeah,
Got away scot free.
yeah.
You got taken pretty
I got
bad.
taken. Yeah. So yeah, we got screwed over there. So be alert when you're around that area. It's a little creepy.
Yeah,
Yeah. And then from our hotel, we actually saw like in our view was the Ganges River, which is ancient and historic, and overlooking like the entire wall, whatever it's called. But then there was a monkey, a goat, a dog, and a cow just all sleeping next to each other. I
yeah,
think that just kind of sums up Varanasi as well.
yeah.
Everyone's
Very
playing
old
cricket.
city. Very.
Yeah.
We met that real nice though teenager there that was trying to learn English to better himself. I was like, he was pretty nice and told
Yeah.
us everything we need to know about the area.
Yeah. It
But
was
then you realize he grew up there and he's never left that area before, so it's kind of
well,
like
didn't he? Yeah, he like honey dicked us. I feel like because he was like super nice and amazing, and then like we were talking, and then he was like, "Oh, come to my uncle's shop."
oh
Remember?
yeah, yeah, we passed on that.
Yeah, he
That was
was
enough.
like, I think he was just using us. Like he really buttered us up. Maybe we,
Oh, he was nice.
he was super nice. But the city itself was incredible. I mean, I've never seen anything like it because, like
Very
Mark Twain
old.
said,
Yep.
old.
Yep.
Also, not to beat up on India more, but the food is not great because people will be like, "Oh, India, like the curry must have been so good." But how often do you eat curry? Like once every 2 months?
I
Once
lost quite a
every
bit of weight when we hit the India part of our trip from
yeah,
Vietnam and Laos. I lost quite a bit of weight because I did not enjoy Indian food.
no, because this is like this. They eat the same thing for lunch as they do for
And no
dinner,
beers
as their
anywhere
breakfast.
either that we could have, except for that last day that one guy had some hidden
Yeah,
in
at the
Varanasi, and we're like, we'll
hotel,
take all of
our hotel
them.
guy had
Yeah,
like it was like we are bootleggers.
I know. With the
So
cat that showed up with no tail
that's
that I
right,
kept feeding,
hotel
that random
cat.
cat, a no tail cat.
And for those who don't know, because India had a really alcohol problem due to like there's a ton of bad stuff that happens, like assaults and all the as we alluded to at the start. So you can't buy alcohol within a kilometer of a major highway. So basically, it's all of India.
Everywhere.
So yeah, everywhere's dry. So we didn't know that, and we were starving and like just wanted like some comfort food. and maybe a beer after these long hot days. Couldn't drink alcohol, couldn't have a hamburger or anything pork or yeah, I mean, there's no pork, no. So we're
Yeah.
just
Even the Subway had none of those meats that you're used to. Like we're like, oh, Subway, let's go, and like it's
yeah,
just veggies. And you're like, ah,
it was rough.
it's tough.
Yeah, India is a one of the it's a hard place to be.
But Varanasi was there's nowhere hotter in the world we were. I mean, humidity at 1,000,
Oh yeah.
temperature at 100. It was awful. I've never sweat that before in my life.
We actually moved. Did we move our flight up earlier? Yeah, we
We
moved
went to
our.
the airport early. We went to the airport early. I don't think we moved
But
our flight up. We were just like, let's go to the airport because I
I
had
think
that
we
lounge
bought
access.
like our flight. Oh yeah, you're. Was it? Did we drive to Varanasi or we flew?
Because that was the end of our trip because you were going to a wedding, then I was flying home.
Yeah,
So I think we,
I know we definitely just went to the airport early, but I think we even bought our flight from Varanasi to New Delhi earlier, so we could get to the airport earlier.
yeah,
Something like
yeah,
that.
and just yeah,
It
New
was
Delhi
that
Airport,
miserable.
very nice.
Yeah, was aside from the subway there and the guy who orders. That's a whole different story.
Yeah,
That's built for its own. But he's the guy who ordered Subway at this place is disgusting. You know who you are, whoever it was out there. If you're listening to this, you're not, but I hate you. That was the most frustrating airport. Actually, the New Delhi airport sucks.
it's
Our little
massive.
area was cool,
Yeah,
but
it's
the
massive.
air
I'm talking about this is nice, like compared to everything else in India that
yeah,
we saw.
yeah, it took forever to get through security. It took forever to get through
Yeah, that's true.
customs. The subway lineup took 45 minutes because of some asshole. Um, but yeah, well, on to New Delhi. We didn't stay in New Delhi very long because we just went to go see the Taj Mahal, which is like 3.5, 4 hours away from New Delhi. And to add,
Which
like
if you,
we're
I think if you want to go see Taj Mahal, just fly to New Delhi, get a car to pick you up, take you there, go right back to the airport, and fly to somewhere else.
yeah, because New Delhi was just chaos as well.
Yes, that tuk tuk we were in, there like there's no lane to traffic. Everybody just weaving out, and no one hits each other somehow. Which was, I think, the most
Yeah,
impressive thing I've ever seen in my life.
and everyone's on the
But
horn. Like
yeah,
that's the other thing. It was
not
just like how loud it is. Like everyone's loud, and the horns are always beeping nonstop. Like
monkeys on power lines, just watching everything go on. It's
yeah, and
like they're
people
watching
sleeping.
us, like we're in the zoo.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's
And
wild.
I remember it was in New Delhi where like it was so sad. Like I remember it's ingrained in my in my memory forever. Is like there's a 4-year-old girl, a 5-year-old girl, just sleeping on the cardboard on the side of the
Yeah,
road with like 1,000 flies all over,
yeah,
which goes
that was
back to
sad
just
to see.
like
Yeah,
how
our
eye
hotel
opening.
was. I don't know how we found our hotel. Our driver couldn't even find it, and he was from there.
Yeah,
I
and
bought my
then
most disappointing bag of M&Ms in my life there. I was so excited for something Americanized. I get them, and they're just all discolored. I think I paid $20 for them, but I was like, damn, that was
yeah,
bitter.
yeah, and
Inside
like
our crack house hotel overlooking a graveyard. It was great.
I forgot about the graveyard.
That was your fault. You picked a bad
Yeah,
hotel.
yeah. The other ones we had were nice. That one was a little
Yeah,
sketch.
yeah,
Um, and then yeah, and then I mean we're not morning people either. And then we had to wake up at 3:30 a.m. to get to, or maybe 3 a.m. to get to Agra where the Taj Mahal is because you want to get there right at the start before all the people come and also see like sunrise. So we got there super early, and then we got the Taj Mahal. And I don't know, I feel like maybe we've talked about this, but I'm gonna say it. The Taj Mahal a lot smaller than I thought it would
yeah,
be,
and dirtier.
and
Like I always heard
more
the saying, like this clean Taj,
yeah,
Taj Mahal's clean, clean. Like, no, nah, I don't use that anymore. Like as a saying,
yeah.
it was
It was
dirty.
underwhelming.
The herd of monkeys running by us was 100 plus monkeys running by us was pretty cool, but also kind of
Yeah.
scary when they're coming at you full speed.
Like Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, like what's happening?
Yeah. Hold your stuff.
Yes,
Yeah. Yeah. So again, just to like keep on banging on India, it's like we drove a 7-hour, 8-hour round trip to see the Taj Mahal. That was like, oh, cool. I hate doing those things. Like I'm going to Colombia this weekend, and there's this cool place outside of town that's called Guatape outside of Medellin, and it's a 10-hour round trip, and it's like a
mm,
cool little lake city and stuff, and it's like a cool rock. And I was like, I don't think I'm gonna do it. I just don't want to travel 10 hours just to see like a couple things you take a picture of.
yeah, yeah.
You
Just a
know?
whole day. That's a lot. Yeah, I get
Yeah,
it.
I'm kind of over it. Which the
Yeah,
Taj Mahal, I guess, is different-ish
you kind
because
of
of
have to. Yeah, it's the Taj
seven,
Mahal. I
a
mean,
new
the
seven
wonders of the
wonder of the
world.
world.
Yeah,
But but what we loved. positive thing to say about India, the Agra Fort, which was like
Ooh,
where the king, or sorry, whatever he was, the emperor lived, and that was cool because it had like a moat. Remember, we like crossed the
yeah,
drawbridge, and it was like we were walking
massive.
in. Yeah, it was like we were in Game of Thrones. It
Yeah,
was a
it did have that
giant
feel to it.
castle. And then the water, like how they use the water, like into the garden, through the bathrooms, into the springs, like it all, because obviously they didn't have power. So it's interesting to
Fantastic
see.
engineering.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was interesting, the engineering, the rooms that overlook the Taj Mahal. For people who don't know, the Taj Mahal actually isn't where the emperor lived; it's where he buried his first wife, a tomb for her, and then as well, or maybe his favorite wife. I don't know if it was his first wife, but I don't know. I don't want to get you in trouble, Trey, so I'll just
I
say
just
favorite wife.
realized I think I was wearing this shirt when we were at the Taj Mahal.
Really?
It survived.
I was gonna
I
say we were
believe
there
so.
quite a long time ago. Huh.
Yeah, I take care of my clothes, man.
That's nice. I actually just found some mashed potatoes in like dried ones that were from
Oh,
2009 in my cupboard.
you sure it was mashed potatoes?
Well, I don't know if it is now, but
Oh,
they're like the dried ones. I don't know why I still have those. Maybe they're in my camping stuff, but I just found that yesterday, random. But yeah, so he was buried there. And him, his favorite wife. That's their tomb. That's the Taj Mahal. And yeah, I guess see it. If you go, you have to go see the Agra Fort. There's other temples you can see and other things you can see as well. But if you
the
were
main
like
two
us,
were yeah.
yeah, those are the main two. We're
Doesn't
exhausted. Yeah. But yeah.
don't forget about Chennai, the gem of
Yes.
India that you
So
took me to.
I unfortunately with
I
Trae,
just I think while you slept, I just stood over you with a pillow. So angry you took me there.
we went another place that Trey doesn't like, and we went because I had an app at the time, and my app developer lived in India, and I went and traveled to Asia for like 2 months, 3 months. And I was like, well, I'm there for that long. Why don't I go to India to visit? And that's how the whole India trip started. I should visit this developer that I've been talking to for like a year. It'd be awesome just to meet him. And I also thought India was maybe a bit closer to the rest of Asia, but it's, I don't know, a 5 hour flight or a 7 hour
Yeah,
flight to
yeah.
Vietnam. So it's not as close as I kind of thought it would be. So it's a long flight. Anyways, he lived in a place called Chennai, which there's nothing to do in Chennai. It's just
Like
like a
southwest India.
yeah.
Down there by Madagascar, I believe.
Hmm.
Should have went there.
I think it's like in that halfway, right? We should
Is
have
it
gone to
halfway?
Madagascar or Sri Lanka.
Yeah, we should have gone there.
Yeah.
Great movie
Instead,
too.
we met up with my developer in like I don't even call it Albuquerque, but like what's that like Rock? What's that shitty Arkansas town? Rock?
Little
What's
Rock's
it?
not shitty.
It's not all right.
Back
Okay.
off. Pick somewhere in Canada.
Okay, it's a Hamilton. It's the
There you go.
Hamilton of Canada, the armpit of North America. Yeah, but it's just like a regular town where people live, and there's nothing to do. And so take New Delhi and take everything else, but without any draw of actually going to see there. So there was a crocodile farm with like where they just throw, but it really was just
Hundreds of crocodiles everywhere.
yeah, but it
They had
wasn't
a
even like
giant one apparently that we never got to see. I was afraid it's gonna. I wish we
get
could have
through.
seen that one though.
Yeah. So basically, it just took all the crocodiles and just threw them in a fence, like they would find, and
Yeah,
they're like, "This
we
is a
went to the
zoo."
beach there. Looked like the end of the world. Found a great fair that we thought would be. Oh, let's kill some time in there. Had
Yeah,
an aquarium with a fish tank that was the size of a 3 feet wide with like two dead fish in it.
it was like our second day in India, right? That we saw the fair, or
That was
maybe the
the
first
first
day.
day. That was the first day.
The fair, it looked like it was like this is the end, or like what's that
Yeah,
new show that was out where like it's
this
basically
is
just
the end
like
nails it.
yeah,
Yeah,
like apocalyptic without the
yes.
humor of this is the
Crows just
end.
sitting there. Yeah, it was creepy.
Giant crows, and it was just hot, and no one was around, and the beach was just not a beach. It was on the
Not a lot of people
water,
staring
and
at us. So
uh,
I
it
don't
felt
think it's
like
a
we
big
were
tourist hotspot. Very weird
no,
place to go. I think people were like, "Why are y'all here?"
yeah, it was the
A lot of
apocalypse.
IT buildings, I think, were in that area.
Mm.
So
Yeah, our host was amazing. He took us around to restaurants.
yeah,
He really wanted to give us sweets.
yep.
He loved giving us sweets, which is a great. He was nice. He took us on a whole tour. His wife was a doctor. Shout out! What an amazing man he was. And he was just yeah. He took us to some temples like way down south, which were really It was unique for the area, but it's nothing that you would go there for. The crocodile farm,
And
and
we
they
learned
took
everyone
us.
that has money there has a driver. Because they said driving there by yourself is the worst. So,
Yeah,
and I believe them after driving around.
yeah, and they took us to a market, like their flea market, and it was one of the sketchiest flea markets we've ever been to. And again, to kind of like say like it was, because you want to buy like knickknacks or souvenirs, but it was literally just there's no tourist. It was just like where you bought your local underwear and socks and
Yeah,
housing
not
equipment.
really what we were looking for.
No, and which I guess was our own fault, my own fault. And they even had like again to feel grateful, and why you should go is to feel grateful and like see a whole new culture, a whole new world. They had like water pumps in the middle of that market. I remember, I'll never forget that. So like people were coming from the apartment little things everywhere and just like pumping water from the middle, and like that's where they get their water. It was insane. It was truly a whole new world, just like Aladdin says, which is ironic because that's
Yeah, it's
India.
very ironic. Yeah,
Yeah.
one of
Yeah.
my favorite Disney shows.
I think it's by far Aladdin's the best Disney show. The Lion King actually I guess is pretty good too.
Lion King's top three, and Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
Just
Do
to
they
round it
still
out, so
like?
everybody knows our top three.
Yeah, Beauty and the Beast third. Yeah, Aladdin one, Lion King two. And if someone said Lion King one, I would get it.
Yeah,
And then yeah, Beauty and the Beast three. Yeah, 100%.
but definitely worth going, but we'll never go again
Yeah,
ever.
yeah. I think you have to go because it truly was such a cultural experience. Like Trae and I love to travel for like culture. Like again, like we'll obviously go to beaches, but it's just like a beach is a beach is a beach. But India was. I mean, we're still talking about it. We're not talking about the time we went to Mexico together or something like that, even though it was his wedding. So I guess we talk about it. But aside from your wedding,
Yeah,
it's just like the stories, the things you saw, the experience. So do go, even though I just spent way too much time shitting on India, you still have to go. Maybe make it better. So instead of going to Chennai, go to,
just make it a quick trip. Fly in New Delhi, see Taj Mahal, fly
yeah.
out
Well, I think you gotta
a
go to like
day.
Varanasi. You have to see Varanasi.
Yeah,
You
I
have
just
to go
know
to like Mumbai maybe instead of Chennai.
Mumbai. Yeah, pick
So
some high end hotels where you still have that
yeah, like I wonder if
luxury.
is Dubai
I
is
mean,
somewhere
remember
close,
we were walking out of the hotel
and the firecrackers
in Chennai, yeah, and they
our
telling us
first day.
firecrackers there. We thought it was a car bomb, and he said there
Oh
were
my
car bombings
god!
going on at that time. So there were protests. I'm like, oh my god, this is how it
No,
happens.
it was someone's birthday or
It was a
something.
funeral. It was a funeral, but
Oh
like there
yeah, the
were
funeral.
protests going on that time. We flew out of Varanasi just before it started. You couldn't go there anymore.
Oh,
They had
that's
like
right.
riots and stuff. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that firework, we're ready for it.
No,
Me
that
and
was
you were
like
like hitting the ground. Everybody else was like looking at us like, what are y'all doing? We're like, I don't know.
that was scary as
Get
hell.
down. Yeah, it was loud.
uh,
Right in front of
we
the
definitely
hotel.
thought people were getting shot up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if I was thinking like how you could go to India if Dubai is close. I guess if you went to Dubai and then you did like a quick 6 day trip in India to check it out.
Yeah, you could hit that northwest corner up, I guess.
Yeah,
Dubai, New Delhi in the middle, then up to Varanasi.
yeah. Or if you can hike Mount Everest, that's kind of close too. But
You got to actually
uh,
hike it though. You can't just get the
no,
Nepal people to carry your stuff up. That's
that's
weak.
true. Yeah. Well, I'm glad we covered India. We knocked
Yeah,
out. We'll have to do another one about other places you've
yeah,
been. Best
yeah. That's
weddings
it.
in near Tulum. We'll do over Trey's
Yeah,
wedding.
Laos and
Oh yeah,
Vietnam as well. Most
yeah. We'll do
hungover I've
those
ever seen
ones.
you in my life at the Holy Temple.
That was rough.
Yeah,
All right. Well, thanks, Trey. This
yeah,
is
man.
InspireTravelLead.com, the best travel podcast in the universe, most likely. More to come. Subscribe, give us 5 stars so people want to talk to us and watch us and whatever else. Bye, everyone.